Order in the court. Let the retrial of Galileo Galilei begin. Has the defense prepared an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me begin by reminding you all that the man before you today is not a heretic, nor has he been working against those of the faith, but instead for it, ever since his birth. He was raised from childhood in the way of the church, as well as bringing up both his daughters in the same manner. He has never shown an inclination to harm anyone, much less the faith he believed from childhood. When he chose to pursue these ideas, it was perhaps an ill-advised mistake, but none can argue that Galileo Galilei was harboring any malevolent thoughts toward the church. Finished, Your Honor.
Very well. Now, the opening statement from the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Galileo is not only a heretic, but he has shown rebellious tendencies long before the publication of his ideas. His widely declared skepticism of the works of Aristotle, a revered philosopher, even in his earlier years, left him isolated, not solely from the church, but also from his own peers. He defied the leniencies graciously given to him by the Pope, taking advantage of the mercies that were allowed for him by publishing works that, although were merely supposed to be theoretical, clearly supported the Copernican theory when he had been warned not to. By doing so, he also challenged the works of Ptolemy, not to mention the belief of the very church he was raised in. His attitude when displaying his work demonstrates arrogance and unquenchable pride. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. To the defense. You say that Galileo's actions of improving the Copernican theory was simply a mistake. Would you please elaborate on the statement?
Of course, Your Honor. Galileo was only pursuing his theories in the interest of the church. He was not aware of the effect he was about to create in the world. He simply wished to be absolutely sure that the faith he had spent his whole life supporting was fully correct in their beliefs, so that they were not embarrassed by another more malicious source, and did not mean to contradict so sharply the ideologies that were set in place long before he was even born. Not only does this prove that Galileo was innocent without a doubt.
Objection! My opponent is already making assumptions about the result of this trial. What are you talking about? No, what are you talking about? You're not galichester! You're not galichester!
Court. Now, I will have to request that the defense refrain from stating their opinions of this trial, and merely the facts. Carrying on, I must ask the prosecution why they are so sure that the universe revolves around the earth and not around the sun.
Your Honor, Galileo's belief clearly contrasts the scripture in which our faith lies. On Joshua 10:12-14 it says,
On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, Sun, stand over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon.
So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies, as it is written in the book of Jashar. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky, and lay going down above the whole day. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
From this passage, it is apparent that the geocentric universe is correct, and since the sun could not stop moving unless it was rotating around the earth in the first place.
This proves that Galileo's theories are both incorrect and heresy, and he should not be pardoned for his original punishment. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. I will now take a moment to ponder the results of this trial, taking into consideration of all your arguments. I have come to the conclusion. For crimes of heresy and blasphemy, I sentence Galileo Galilei to continue his previous sentence. I reject the appeal to change his punishment. Case closed.
I'm a judge. Order in court.
Hey!
Christy, look.
Oh, we're filming each other.
Oh, I'm filming you taking a video of me. Oh, no, you're not taking pictures.
What a novelty.
It turned off. Catherine, look.
Wow.
What's wrong with this thing?
Film.